good morning, everyone. Today is Random Car Talk Thursday. Fuel consumption. We talk about later chibuzi tobuza chibuzo. Good morning, Muyombia Mark Obado Obuzebuze. Seguya Ibrahim Mulindwa Gonza Gawaboyi Nelson Tusime Eddie Danston Akonya. How are you? Ipsam Pikiniki. Hey. John's Info. Yusuf Minaj, Chikoze Stanley, Maxwell Kahuma, Patrick Rio Portrait Farm, Pade Pade, Sammy Dero, Chris Fitness Lubura, Obuzemu Nakuzino, Boba Demukamori, Travel Live Vlog, Majwala Julius, Louis, how are you? Chotaite Hussein, Mulindwa Gonzaga, Muri Mutiabanangi, Mwasuze Burunji, Juma Ali, Omni Wandiambi, Nsereko Staj, Chigozi Stanley, Football Tribe UG, and Career Jire Amos Luke. How are you today? Fuel consumption. You know, surprisingly, even people that buy Range Rovers sometimes be like, someone's going to be buying a V8. So I find that literally it doesn't matter how much money someone has with what car they're going to buy, still they will be concerned about they'll still be concerned about the fuel consumption. I don't know why it is like that, but somehow people care about the consumption of a car even when they have a lot of money, which tegera. So yes, I thought and one of the reasons why people sell cars, even the cars they buy when they really like, they sell them because of fuel consumption. Kakati me wali mulaba wa taxi yalese kano kajam aparkinze mu kifo wasino truck ayingire ku taina wawe teda mukitegera, and he's laughing. Of course, me, I try to understand the taxi guys. It's not very easy to make money out of a taxi. So you literally have to stop everywhere to get customers. 360 videos wasuzotia Henry Modern Drinks wasuzotia mulistede nedero ngeragera paka ku express na ro niba nanga wana wantu bitaga bagazi yewo wafunda nnyo. Now look at this bus. Era bwana amarugazi yale kasanga ati Matuga Road balina okugazi ya nerine kubo bali ongereyo ligaziwe, because I find that now we are going to keep having this trouble, because katibana eboroka ezingire ziveri kasanga ati nene zingira mukakuba akafunda ataka kuba akafunda. It also has a lot of cars. But good morning, give me likes. You guys are 42. I want at least 40 likes to gain a mass on Embos. 40 likes. Give me 40 likes to get stable. But now you guys, some of you guys would rather go off than like the broadcast. Like the broadcast. Give me at least 40 likes kali tugendera kuba muwera ana chitegeza musobola okupa likes ana. Tofana na barara topapara wena mama na mopesa kende ibirigo nozigumira ingambe zingana gwetoze wulira tugwabiko netwekuluka tubalize kera nga tuli fembi. Those taxi guys, what they are doing is each one of them is trying to get to the next customer before the other. Which tegera katulia isiza, now he's going to go before this one. Katiba customer bali maso wali agenda bafuna ngono tanna bafuna. Which tegera. But that's a game they play on the road. One on inamu half a taxi, police manya how many passengers he has so far. But what they are trying to do, each of them is trying to get to the next passengers before the other. You guys that have sat in taxis, you know that game very well. And sometimes when you're going to town and you're taking a taxi, it kind of helps you move faster because they keep coping. I'm waiting for 40 likes, guys. It's still 25. 40 likes. Give me likes to get in there. Chris Fitness. You guys double tap. Bana abantu bekopa double tap. Chris Fitness talking about hybrids. Ekimu kukyamazemu amaanyi. The past 2 days I've seen 2 hybrids ezirimu UAW USZ and I talked to the guys that have zonas bade Prius nga bonna hybrid system bagijja mudda nga bateekamu ordinary engines. Okitegeera so kitegeeza if a car cannot go up to tesobola kuba esaawa eno nga UAW tekyalimu hybrid system, kitegeeza that car can not live 10 years hybrid system eyo ekyalinamu. Okitegeera of course that's subject to maintenance, yeah. But then era kitegeeza some of these cars died like 5 years because abamu bazigula nga it's a Prius naye nga already eri hybrid system eri off. And now when you look at the reviews these guys give, 27.5 kilometers, that makes the hybrid not worth it because a motor kakati is valvematic ziwera dala up to 20 kilometers. Yet the price for buying a valvematic, you almost double it to get a hybrid. Katogendo kwesanga the hybrid might not be worth the buy. But we are still doing an analysis. 27.5 is not bad mileage if the car is in the same price range as any other car. The thing is, you buy the cars that have a valvematic or dual VVTi cars, you buy them at like 25 and then you have to buy the other one at 50. Never made sense to me. It has never made sense to me. But tujja kuba tukiraba. Chamba de Hannington amachama lungi. Antonio Random Things, President FTC People's Party wasuzotia. He lives in Midbidi Crown mwasuze mutia. Mukisa Robert mwasuze Kaitesi Morin. Good morning. Can steady na ro. Na bomwana bwavuze Subaru ayonona nyonone. Waliwo abantu abavuganga babayita basanya. Moduka asanya wonsanyira babampa yonna bwefaakira kabwadda reverse tafaayo oba atomedde kale obukosi obukyafu naye bampa yo mabega yonfu. Kati if you were to buy that car, you definitely need to buy another rear bumper. Okitegeera bampa ye mabega oba ogenda kugula ndala. Yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well. Double tap nga Chris Fitness bwakugambye. Double tap osobola okufuna kalaiki kange ng'okampadde. So fuel consumption, Saturday lives great zibirawo saa 11 n'eddakiika 15 ez'olweggulo. Ronald Muchwa VIP guys, be VIPs, go pay some money and be VIPs. I'm planning to buy a Mark X 2013 model, a used one, but how much? Today, 2 questions are for tomorrow. He lives in me. Leo tuli mukibozi kyerere. Leo tuli mukibozi Saddam. What's up? Lero tuli mukibozi kyerere. Guys, double tap and like the broadcast. Double tap. So anyway, fuel consumption. I got an issue. It's on TikTok. I find that TikTok guys ask questions more directly because of the way it's made. So someone says Ipsam enya 12 kilometers every 17 kilometers. So that means literally every kilometer emoroka enywawo like mirusi nga lukaga. I don't know if the math is correct, but like every kilometer the car consumes like 600 mils. That's very bad mileage, even for the Ipsam. The Ipsam, a liter should take you about 7 kilometers, 6 to 7. Normal driving, mixed driving, city versus. Ate bwogenda ku highway ebe sobola okutwala like 9 ku highway. Ebe sobola okutwala 9. Kati bwoba okoze mixed driving noyitako mujamu bichi obala 6 to 7 kilometers. The fact that a liter takes this person 600 mils, 600 mils go for like a kilometer, that's very bad mileage. Now, that's a mechanical condition, which take it. But let me just go through what you should expect with all these cars, regardless of what car you buy, so that you guys understand. Olemekulowoza nti emoroka yenywa nnyo. Okitegeera. Olemekulowoza nti emoroka yenywa nnyo. In Kampala, I find that the people in the villages, you guys have realized that people in the villages never complain about fuel consumption. A person in the village can be driving a Kawundo and you never hear him complain about fuel because they never find traffic jam. bavuga musetwe, they be going just like that. Ukitegeera, they never find jam. Kati olaba kati nga wano Kawanda, omuntu babavugira muno mu Kawanda, olumu avuga akataka and all that, they never find the kind of jam that we find. You get it? Someone driving in Entebbe, the only time they find something that close to jam, babeera ku bitaala. Ukitegeera. And that's just how it happens. But for us, abavugira mu kibuga, then we find jam literally everywhere. You find jam in Waise, you find jam in Waniga, you find jam in Bukoto, you find jam in Ntinda, you find jam in Gorobi, you find jam in Nakawa. Everywhere there is jam, and that's the biggest hurdle for us. And of course, then you have to understand, forget about the fuel ratings of the internet, because when they are testing those cars, they don't test them with the hills that we have. For example, where we are going downhill because we came uphill. You see? Now we are going to find a jam there. See? There is a jam here. And then we are going to go uphill. Now, these are the things that that influence how your car consumes fuel in Uganda. When you have a mixture of hills and traffic, and then you have a mixture of traffic police stopping you, and then you have a mixture of you, like for example now at this car jam here, you're going to want to step on it and overtake like a number of cars. That consumes your fuel. So driving habits, our driving environment that we find, and the hills, all things. Now you see, when you set off like at 7, these are some of the troubles you find, because I find that literally everyone sets off at 7. Katika jama okalaba kagenda pakeri, so kati era abantu abagezi bali mukava ako bakatemera mukataka akayiteko mutaka, because kati pakeri waggulu wakwata pakeri emaganjo wansi. Ukitegeera wabeera wakutte, era nange ndeka ngenda kuvaako ngene epiteko eri munda. Ukitegeera, oyo wa Ipsam asobola V8 mugamba afune silinda yede endala oba valve tezatuula bulungi. That's why these days I'm passionate about personal and needs. Derek wagonze Arthur olowooza kibina esobola okuweza 9 kilometers ngeri mu good condition. Kibina esobola okuweza 9 kilometers in good condition and good driving. Gukyomanya, if the environment is good, esobola okuweza 9 kilometers. If the environment is good, it can even go up to 10. Now, one thing you guys need to understand, I've been talking to people that drive Kawundos, and although most of them never really calculate the fuel, but those that I've talked to actually say Kawundo goes up to 8 to 9 kilometers normal driving over the SC. But someone told me it goes up to 13. Someone told me it goes, for him Kawundo he get up to 13. Then what way I have Kawundo ngeri ogire ngeri Kawundo eri mbirole wali eyo Kawundo eri mu valvematic eri mu engine ngeya waliwe ziri mu engine ya Nuwa 3ZR, waliwe ziri mu ya Rumion 2ZR, and oli alina eri mu 2ZR nagamba Kawundo egenda up to yangamba 17. Now, for a Kawundo to go to up to 17 kilometers, that's very good consumption. But of course, yeah, Ntebe. So Wavuze okuja mu kibuga is very rare. So Ntebe there is no jam. So now I hope you try to attend Ntebe teri busozi. Ntebe, if you live in Ntebe town, you guys have realized tebalina nnyo busozi buli awo. Obusozi bwabwe butono nnyo kulinya ali ku paaka ewala wonna wali flat. Okitegeera. So that person told me their car goes up to 17. Abai. Tugende tusigale wano oba tweyongereyo. Tusigale wano oba tukuba akataka. Because nakataka akulumu oyinza okakuba atenda bange oba watambula lwakuba bano bavuddemu. Tolina buvaamu. Nsina comment engamba kukuba kataka. Kuba kataka. Njagala okusigalawo wano naye. You save fuel when you go. Naye akataka kano nako keewala. Naye katumale kagenda. Kuba obudde bugenze. Kuba akataka. Sikali. Akataka kebagamba kukuba ttaka lya ddala. Abaana bagenda ku somero. Simanyi ya holiday. Nga tebambadde uniform bano. Yeah, so we are talking about the consumption. You need to understand the kati woba ogenda gule moroka nga internet ekugamba nti moroka egenda tambula kilomita 18. Now when you have the traffic jam and the hills, you understand that wabagamba nti emotoka ya 15 manya wanegenda tambulanga 10-12 sure deal. And kintwala for abantu abavuga emotoka kati wano e Kampala okumanya bw'oba ovuze SC Vitz Paso zigenda kuwa kilomita 13 ng'ovuze SC if you find jam ng'ovuga mixed conditions osanga jam ewamu n'osanga tewali jamu n'olinnya ku busozi gwemanya nti if you have those mixed driving conditions ogenda kuba onywa kilomita 13 per liter mu motoka eza siso 100 Paso Vitz. Bw'ogenda mu 13 olwo ogenda kwesala ogenda kuba ofuna kilomita nga 11-12 13. Bw'ogenda mu 15 okujja nga amafuta onywedde malungi nga naawe ovuga bulungi ogenda kuba okonsuminga about 9.5 per liter. Now I'm talking about the guys that drive. It's important that SC should not just be you should not be using SC for amusement. Gokozesa SC erina okuba nga erina kyekugattako okitegeera. Of course kati now abantu abamu SC just be alakisale nosalawo kambere mu bulamu obwa alakisale mulaba kati suno okusinga jjamu mtu ajja nayita mu kataka tamanyi nti ekituyisa mu kataka kwangu wano bali badde bangu okiraba. So anyway it's important kale nze kankuyiteko baaba nze ndayise kataka nga ndi focused. Baganda bange weewalanga nnyo okuzimba mu kisenyi kati zengeda line ekkubo terikala kubeggula enkuba teyatonye eno side zeno neruli enkuba teyatonnya naye ekkubo liganya okukala okitegeera kati kubamu akafaananyi ennyumba eziri wano zo ziri zitya. Ate the one thing I realize about wetlands, the more people build in the actual wetland nammwe abali kasozi mutandika getting affected amazzi gatandika okwambuka. I don't know why that is like that. Me, I remember when nanina akazimbe wange kasanga tinali kulukalunga n'omusingi ogusima gukaluba. Then people started building in the wetland deep there. Naffe n'amazzi ne gatandika okujja. Ebisenge ne bitandika okunnyuukirira. Okujjako ate ng'oli ku lusozi luli ddala ddala olusembayo. Okitegeera. Which sometimes is also kakati wano ne bw'oba oyagala kuyisa toyina bw'oyisa. Ekkubo vundu noli bwakulaba ng'oyisa nga akulaga nti eri jadde wali ebinnya eno gyoyagala omuyisa wewatali binnya. So anyway we are talking about fuel consumption. Kati ogiraba eyo spasio mu bukadde bwayo egenda kuba ekuwa because ndabira ku Corolla namukadde ya manual nga tavuze SC I think afuna kilomita nga 15 but his manual okitegeera ono afuna kilomita nga 10 oyo wa spasio era nga tavuze SC bwavuga highway nafuna kilomita nga 12-13. One thing that I thought we should understand is that don't expect your car to do magic. Don't expect your car to do magic because it won't. There is a standard in Uganda that every car does. I saw someone complaining Sienta, which is a 1.5 liter, avuga SCM19 kilometers. Now, that also works with the kind of fuel that you take. Abantu abamu amafuta mumala ganywa temufaayo ku quality okitegeera gwa amafuta g'osanga gwonywa as long as it's fuel. Amafuta go gayina enjawulo. The fuel industry is very too regulated. You cannot come and lie to people that we put additives, yet you don't. okitegere kyekimu ku bintu ebikyasinza obuzibu, lying to people that you put. It's like the beverage industry. Of course in Uganda ebintu ebiyita, like I was talking to a pharmacist, one of pharmacists that is in my digital marketing class this month, and he was telling me, Arthur, eddagala eddungi gyeriri naye wano ebyaffe ebya Uganda obimanyi omuntu abeera n'eddagala nga bbi naye era akuba bukubi essimu emu ne liyita nibaliisawo ne lidda mu katale nga leeta teriise tests teriise approvals naye ne liyita because akubye essimu, okitegeera. So ebintu bya Uganda olumu biyita, but I doubt that companies like Vivo for example or Total Energies, because when you realize, like for example Total we bali ba rolling out Excelium waabwe bam rolling out globally kutandika na Bungereza yonna bakozesa Excelium. So it's very hard for them to tell you that they are using Excelium in the UK nga ate wano sigwe bakozesa, okitegeera. So you'll find that good fuels like the Shell fuels or Total fuels, they'll give you better mileage. Business muzawe ziri e Kampala, bano business yabwe eriyamu yakunganya plastic, scrap plastic, okitegeera. That's a business yazimbira ddala ekibanda ekinene ate tekyaliwo last week. Ati gwe kyobamanya alabika yali agazibwa kaali katono, tekyali kinene bwe kityo, ateeka okuba yajja agazibwa to that level. So anyway, eno tewakala nze newunya abantu kati ababeera kati eno empewo ekufuwa n'okufuwa nga teyali kufuuye, because ekufuwa n'okufuwa nga teyali kufuuye. Zikira najjako eno njagala okuba shortcut nembulireyo mu obwo obukubo bweyo. Naye kakati ono bwe tugulira amafuta lwaki asala jam nga amafuta ffe tugagula? Why is he cutting the jam? Agenda ali ku toto ya wali kale ne tugende. So anyway guys, fuel consumption bwe twogera emmoloka ya sisi 1000 mugitegedde bwetambula. Bw'oba tuvuga SC emmoloka ya sisi 1000 e Uganda with mixed driving you can get 15 kilometers. Eya 1300, that's 1.3 liter, you can get about 13, 14. But eya 1300 weba eri mu mbeera nnungi nga togirinnye nnyo, you can get up to I drove a 1.3 liter ngerimu 2 NZ. I drove a car, you can get up to 15 nga teri jam. Kati weba teri jam emmoloka eri eya cc 1000 esobola okuwa up to 20 nga tosanze jam. Yes, 20 kilometers. Now because we have mixed driving in Kampala, olumu osanga jamu n'olinnyo obusozi naawe n'olinnyamu akaliro obala 15 1300 n'ogibala 14. Kati of course bw'oteekamu SC it will reduce by 2 to 3 kilometers per liter. Then bwe tugenda ku mmoloka ya cc 1800, of course the 1.5 nkugambe oba tovuga SC you can get 12-13, okitegeera. Bwe tugenda ku mmoloka ya cc 1800 nga VVTi, now I'm talking about VVT cars because I don't encourage you now to buy EFI cars. Technology eyo twavaayo dda. I don't encourage you to be buying the Ipsams, the Chibinas, okitegeera, especially if you have the money that can afford to buy a VVTi car. Kubanga there are VVTi cars that are like 9 million, 10 million, okitegeera. Like you can get an old Corolla ngeyange 9 million, 10 million. Jigule. Ate if you drive manual n'ogigwako nga ya manual kati ate oba ogenda kweyagala bweyagazi, okitegeera, because mmoloka za mani ate zo ziba tezinywa, okitegeera. Now I'm talking about VVTi, sinayogerako ku Subaru. Ne Subaru Impreza bagamba tenywa, but when a Subaru Impreza guy tells you tenywa, they are comparing it to the Forester, they are comparing it to the Outback. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. They are not comparing it to your Mark II Grand, because the Mark II Grand is a 2-liter vehicle, but it doesn't consume the same as this Subaru X20. The X20 definitely consumes more fuel because it's a Subaru. It's a Subaru, and Subarus. Because I don't know the thing that happens with boxer engines, but they kind of consume a little more fuel. Right? And Chinzo Kubanti, it's the style of driving that Subaru drivers do. Ne impreza na yebe datenywa ngaru kumu bitano wadde datenywa nera tusobola kunywanga ngaru kumu bitano, because you'll find some impreza guys, they have a 1.5 liter vehicle reporting that they get 8 kilometers per liter. And of course majority of Subaru guys tebabala mafuta, because because I've never seen a Subaru person that buys a Subaru simply because they can buy it. They buy Subarus because of passion. Which take it. Atoba, there is a friend of mine that I did not expect to be buying Subaru. So he ended up buying a Subaru out of passion. So kati ebisere bisingo jabasanga tebabala mafuta bavuga buvuzi. The people that actually calculate fuel ebisere ebisinga beba mwe banze abavuga Toyota abasubaru tebatira kubala mafuta okitegeera. And then I've seen Vianney came here now to Gambala. There is a time he came, double tap to give me more likes, double tap. There is a time Vianney came and said that he has a Subaru that consumes better than a Toyota. That muchara we avuga Toyota, but Toyota chi, and then his Subaru consumes better. Toyota ya ino obuzibu. And we're going to go a little bit into that. Yeah. And he was saying the Subaru was a 2.4, the Toyota was a 2-liter. That's impossible for a Subaru 2.4 to consume better than a Toyota 2-liter. Okuja kunga, the Toyota has a very big problem. Which take here. Yeah, but we're going to get into that. Now, a 1.8-liter vehicle under normal driving conditions ngoli kumusetu ejakuwa 12 kilometers. 12 kilometers. Now, I hope you guys are seeing that these cars don't really have a big difference under normal driving. They don't have a big difference. Normal driving, emotoka ezo tezina nnyo difference lwaki kuba zonna ziba zitambula kaseetwe. And by normal driving I mean nti naawe togirinnye nnyo naawe ovuga normally. Kitegeeza bw'ogirinnye nnyo bigenda kukyukamu. Okitegeera bw'ogirinnye nnyo bigenda kukyukamu. Nti era kyobula nti sometimes you'll find someone driving 1500 ng'enyonyo ate okusinga 2000. Lwaki nti owa 1500 emotoka agivuga bubi, owa 2000 avuga normal driving. Vaayo tonyiiga abantu bebigero oba lwaki muyina entondo nkukubidde eŋŋombe oveeyo vaayo buvi kati ki ekiba kikuyombya abo. Kale katukole tuti. So anyway, I hope you guys try to understand what is going on. Until you are the jam, and then there's something I needed to do here at Total. I want to top up my B2C card. I want to top up my B2C card here. Obana sobola gitoping on. Kanda bo basobola okukikola. Kyobola bannabagambye obudde bugenzi. Yebali. Njagala kutopinga B2C. Otopinga? Niwe mba topinga ebi. Kyogamba ebintu tugitopinga. Kubanga ombuuza nga sente mmeka.
Nyumirwa nnyo nga nteekako akazeeyi.
Kaaki. Kale nteerako emitwalo 2.
Kati era gye tugenda okunywako
gwe sooka otekeko sente tulabe. Gwe era gye tugenda okunywako. Simairi moloka yakyaliwa. But guys, eno essimu ebugumye. Kansoke ngiteeka awo. Njagala kuguguma ng'eyangu tetukkiriza genda ku express. Tetukkiriza genda ku express ng'ebugumye mangu. Kale njikkirizaawo wansi so that it gets a lot of cold air. Let me put in cold, very cold. Kale. So guys, you're going to look at me now. I'm topping up card. So anyway, we are talking about fuel consumption. I'm trying to get the phone to cool down. Trouble bit to okugenda ku express. Okay, we are talking about the consumption and how so the basic way nabagamba akakodya akasookera ddala akagwe okumanaging emmotoka yebeere nga tekunywa nnyo egenda kuba nti kale nga bw'oteekamu sente gwe jjuza tanka kale the basic way is ate lwaki nedda the basic way is for you to always make sure eri mu kuwolaawola egezaako okuwola the basic way gwe ate agammwe nga ga bbeeyi teekamu kizike agammwe ga bbeeyi sente ezo nyingi nnyo naawe koma ku kizike agamwe gomanyi totale endala sente zezitunda Nyalwenda ate kati nkulimbe nze omuntu alina B2C card kangende wali promotion kubanga kakati ono ye balance wange temunasala zino kanzu naye zijjoko nemekuwa cash kale guys esimu eringa ewozeewoze ejja kuwola mpola abayi nze nywa amafuta ag'ebbeeyi nga lwototo ya layisi kyegitutesa ku B2C card tusobole okugira mpozi nfuna discount ya mekaawo 50 shillings kitegeeza nga guze 5 8 kale and guys these receipts are for tax purposes also nja kujjulira eri sijja kutandika kujjulira agaddewa sijja nnyo amafuta olaba gundi amafuta gano n'emunyonyo ga 149 emunyonyo erimba gagga gye ŋŋenda kati nywe amafuta wano mubaavu nga nyweddeeyi tuba kwagala kunziza mabega ndagewa kampute wano waliwo droni eyambusika ndabo bensookayo esimu egaanye okuwola naye I think I have another solution here, guys. Here is a solution here, they call it. Ejja kuwola lwa mpaka. We are still we are still talking about fuel consumption, and why we are talking about this is because there are people that think that their cars consume a lot of fuel, while there are people that think their cars don't consume. But some abantu abamu abalowooza nti emmotoka ezaabwe tezinywa, abamu bakirowooza simply because babadde bavuga emmotoka ezinywa ennyo. Okitegeera badde bavuga emmotoka ezinywa ennyo, and bade bavuga emoroka ezinywa ennyo. You guys, abavuga CVT, does it sometimes confuse you? Sometimes you'll be driving a CVT. I am sure some people have changed their CVT gearboxes thinking the gearboxes are faulty. Sometimes you'll be going uphill and the CVT gearbox starts doing things that you don't even understand. Me, I would know that it literally, thank God. You can never enjoy a car that drinks fuel like water. Tegenda kuddamu kubuguma kati baka temperature akali mu moroka one. So there are people that have been driving, like someone that has been driving a Kaundo. They drive this car, they would say motoka tenywa. Yet someone that has been driving this car, bwavuge moroka ya sisi 18 abana be moroka ya sisi 18. You be driving a 2-liter Mark II Grand and then you go to drive a 2-liter Mercedes Benz. The Mercedes Benz will be consuming more. So nga ate omuntu waba badavuga Mercedes Benz ya 2-liter najja navuga Mark II Grand abala ba Mark II Grand atete kolaki Mark II Grand abala batenywa okitegeera. Remember that as the car gets older it increases consumption. I happen to not believe that a car consumes more as it grows older. I find that it's the way we drive the older cars that makes them consume, because as long as the engine is intact, you will not, it will consume literally the same. It will be standard consumption. But what happens, bwobovuga emoroka enkadde ebiseera ebisinga ogirinnyamu nnyo. Kati emoroka eyo enkadde bw'ogirinnye ennyo, emoroka eyo enkadde bw'ogirinnye nnyo eba egenda kunywa nnyo. Ebiseera ebisinga, even the people that drive old cars, they drive them without regard. They don't care about them. You guys look at the guys that drive Ipsams. Bazivuga bazirinnye nnyo. Me, have noticed that the times when mvuga emoroka yange eno and I step on it, near the times when I drive and I'm cautious about keeping it below 2000 revs per minute, I am very okay. Okitegeera eba tegenda kunywa nnyo mafuta because that's the normal driving. Like there are times even when I overtake below 2000 revs. But you cannot overtake on a hill and still overtake below 2000 revs. That's impossible. Okitegeera, you cannot do that. Kati, what happens, the first thing chenabagamba, drive below 2000. Ate kati abemoroka enene zino zi Alpha D, any car that is 1.8 liters and above, it's very easy for you to drive below 2000 revs. It's these small cars like my car 1.5 liter that is hard to drive below 2000 revs. But even with this car, it's possible for you to drive below 2000 revs per minute. Chiri very possible. Novugira wansi 1.2. It is very possible. Noba ngovuga wansi wa cc, noba ngovuga wansi wa revs 2,000 nga toyisa tolinnya muliro. That's one way we will save fuel. But I've also found that these cars kadne EFI yenyini chovura bajita electronic fuel injection. It has electronic components that are supposed to help the EFI regulate how it uses fuel, how it uses air, which take how it uses the fumes that come out of the engine into the exhaust. That's why it has oxygen sensors, it has body sensors, it has fuel sensors, it has all those sensors to make sure that it can regulate the amount of fuel. I remember when I nakagula chibina yange, it consumed fuel. I drove it from Chebando to Mutunge and it consumed 30,000 shillings. And there I called a mechanic. If nice enough na mechanic, I called a guy called Mutiaba. Mutiaba yali atema spare okuchebwais. Mutiaba sent me the mechanic that came. Then the mechanic, I think, had just discovered that issue, that it causes cars to consume fuel. And nangambe inonji tegedde, he got a body sensor. There is a sensor that is attached in your hood. It's attached to the body. They call it a body sensor, but in actual sense it regulates fuel. When that thing is faulty, emoroka egenda kuba eyiwa y'amafuta nga mangi era ejja kuba ekika kya black. Now for starters, if your car has like the black smoke coming out of your exhaust, then it definitely means it's not burning fuel. kebere ya diesel kastora bange kube ekikka kya black manyi motoka eyo iba teyokya mafuta, because when there is a lot of fuel that is put on the pistons and the valves don't burn it into your chamber, your combustion chamber is supposed to be literally the same amount. It's supposed to be equal to the air that gets in there, and then it's supposed to work hand in hand with the car spark that comes from the spark plug, because that spark burns the fuel with the help of the air, and then when it does that, it pushes the piston down. It's sort of the piston wagisindikana wansi, then ejira crankshaft ngevuga engine ngevuga gearbox. That's how it works. Okitegeera, so that's how it works. The moment your car bwebanga eteeka ya mafuta mangi ng'empewo ntono, waliwo amafuta agagenda okusigalawo. Bwe gasigalawo omuliro guli ogwa spark genda kuba amafuta gafulume nga tegalina kye gakola, it's not used, gasigalako kuli. Era ojja genda okwesanga emmotoka ereeta yokya ne plaga zennyini zituuka ne zitoba. That's why emmotoka esobola okubeerawo nga teyokya for some time, but after some time ojja genda okwesanga plaga zifudde, because amafuta gatuuka ne gabeera plaga neetoba nebeera mbisi. Now some of us have been in those situations. Okitegeera kati awo emmotoka etandika okukuba ekikike kya black. That's why sometimes bwogamba emmotoka yange enywa amafuta, your mechanic will first go to your exhaust pipe n'akwatayo. Bw'akwatayo ng'emmotoka ddala egookya. Okitegeera nga tewali black. Era now for the guys that have their cars, you can go and check your exhaust pipe. If your exhaust pipe has no black, it means your car amafuta egookya bulungi, kitegeeza geegogeyina okunywa. Geegogeyina okukola ki? Geegogeyina okunywa. Now the thing that happens is emmotoka bw'eneeba efuna empewo nnyingi ku mafuta geefuna, era still the car is going to misbehave a little. Okitegeera, because it's not supposed to be, the system is not supposed to run either lean or rich. Okitegeera, if we say the system is lean, kitegeeza amafuta matono, rich amafuta mangi. It's supposed to balance. Okitegeera, era the people that have changed engines, I'm sure there is a problem that I got with my Corolla still when I just saw my engine. The problem was with the camshafts. The computer is programmed to work with the I think a certain configuration of the camshafts. Okitegeera, right? And if you change the engine, that's why when nali ngamba Joshua yagamba agenda kugula engine, nemugamba alisireko computer yeyo engine, because I've seen with the Corolla we took it to some guy in Chiseka, ye ebya abitegeera naddamu n'akyusa camshaft n'ateekako endala ezikola ne computer ya muno mu mmoloka muno. That's how he explained it. Era bwe yazisaamu emmoloka neefuna amaanyi nerekera akasozi ke yali terinya netandika okukalinya effortlessly. Of course fuel consumption is okusigala nga yeemu, ng'emmoloka enywa bulungi naye nga teyina maanyi. You don't want to be in that position. Kati bweba teyina maanyi kitegeeza wali mu camshafts. That's why when you buy an engine, if you can buy it complete with the computer n'ekiwaya kyako, of course then you'll only need a computer there, because computer bekwatagana with the electronics that come with that engine and all that. And sometimes the sensor bwenyini bumanyi okukyuka, naye nze emmoloka yali enkozeeko emikolo eyo nga ne makanika yennyini gwe nali nkola ebiseera ebyo emusobedde n'aŋŋamba Arthur emmoloka tugitune, ne mugamba kati nze Arthur emmoloka embi ogenda giguzaane, ne mugamba kanwanagane nayo, ne nwanagana nayo paka emmoloka bwe yatereera, and it got fixed up. Okitegeera, right now muto wange oli avuga Corolla yange yaŋŋamba abantu abavuga vitizi mu Uber banywa nnyo okusinga ye avuga Corolla ya sisi 1500, ng'ate bo baba bavuga emmoloka ya sisi 1000. Okitegeera, right? So it's probably important that we understand how that works. If your car is electronic netandika okunywa amafuta, emmoloka eza VVTI zonna, you can check those cars with the computer, especially if you realize the wiring systems have not yet been tampered a lot with, because olaba Corolla yange basobola ogikebera ne computer, ate nga Corolla yange is a 2001. Kitegeeza if you're driving a car that is like 2006, 2007, your car can and should be checked with the computer. Okitegeera, kampite nabweru engeri yengenda ku express. So abantu tebannategeera ngenda kikuba paka ku express, kifa bakula paka ku express. So any car that has a VVTi engine, you can still check it with the computer. Ngatonda bagenda moroka yo tandika jitaganju, right? Emoroka yo bweletanga error yonna oba bwetandika ngo ku misbehaving, especially if it brings the engine check light. Now mu abantu abamu abavuga emoroka empya abakagula emoroka mu bond last year, the year before that, obusanyi, the catalytic converters can be stolen from your cars. Now the catalytic converters can be eliminated bagichusa computer wise ne bagijirako danoba nga togyetaaga. However, emoroka era ekyusaamu kunywa eba tenywa ngeri yagiramu catalytic converter. Okitegeera emoroka zino bwe baba bazikola ne bazisaamu catalytic converters, bazikola nti emoroka yo okufunctioninga optimally erina okubanga catalytic converter eyo mweri. The moment you remove it, bakikola nti this car should misbehave, so that you are forced to put that catalytic converter back. Okitegeera? Now the moment papa jebali kana kakuba kanzi kuseri kukikale akagwa ku bypass, waliwo akakuba akayitamu akagwa ku bypass. Bwe mitano ngwayo
yamuka boti boyambuka basanga masanganzira yaga itemu okirire basanga wali kakolanso namugono ogera bomulengera wandi
kale neyanza mulaba ekirungi ekiri mu kubuuza kati wali neetoolola kana akakuba bulijjo suspecting anti kantula remwe teri muntu abalambuza Kampala nga nze waliwo obukubo kyemmanyi nga ne bwe nkugamba oddeyo mpiseyo gwe toyinza kunzizaayo. Kitegeera? So we are talking about you checking your car, making sure you replace the catalytic converters. Now how do you make sure your catalytic converter doesn't get stolen? Emoroka tebagigaba. Emoroka bwe bajooza otuddaawo. Emoroka okugika ddaawo. Okitegeera? Because the catalytic converter to be removed, it doesn't even take like 20 minutes for people that know how to remove them. Ate gwe bw'ona otukugula catalytic converter ogenda gigula emiliyoni kumpi namba olumu n'okusobamu naye mwenze nange eno siyitangayoko mukama nsaasire. Uganda nene ate nga nene wabeerayo abantu. I am sure there are some people on the broadcast right now that live this side. Hayagamba asa oli mu bitundu byange gye weeyagalira. Ate sebe eno waliyo abaloodi. Kati guys eno gye tulino gye bayita Nabweru. Ati no guy kansubira tatulagidde waliwo guy okulagirira obubi. Akulagirira bubi. Ogenda okutuuka ng'obuze. Eno sijjangayo bannange. Kampala nene. Ate kati bano bakyali mu Kampala bano. Naye kati ate no, this is Nansana. This is Nansana municipality. Naye mwe mukimanyi neri ewange eri Ematuga ndi mu Nansana wadde ndi mu kyalo, but I'm still in Nansana. Kampala is big. So we are still talking about fuel consumption. Catalytic converter is, first of all guys, for the people that have had kids, nandyagadde nnyo mwabazadde abaana tubeere cautious nze nammwe tumanye nti this environment, if we take care of this environment, it's going to be safe for our children and our grandchildren. One way for you to take care of your environment is, first of all, babagamba don't cut trees. Yeah, don't cut trees. Babagamba tosuula bichupa chupa. I've seen people that seem educated anywa amazzi n'akasuka akacupa k'amazzi mu kkubo. I've seen people that seem educated n'akasuka akaveera nayisa mu ndabirwamu akaveera n'akakasuka mu kkubo. Okitegeera? I've seen people that seem educated nga bakola ebintu ebitategeerekeka. Ne bw'obeera mu Europe, of course, I asked, and in Europe bw'oba olidde, for example, you have eaten a banana, you can drop ekikuta ky'eryenvu on the roadside because ekyo kivunda, and they know that's manure. Naye katugoberera ono kuba ono naye avudde waka kitegeeza lina ekkubo lina what exploration will not do to me. Buzi ngoberera ono omusajja ku alina gy'agenda okulongoosa toyi, naye n'agenda kukuuna, alina n'ekikazi kikuno ku kyalo agenda ku main road. Naye mwe mulaba abakazi yakyuka, mukazi avudde ku lole n'alengera maayika ng'ate ayagala wa maayika nyimirire. Maayika eyina amaanyi. Atugenda tuli ku kituufu ne main road yiri walingi irengera. naye kakati mweno mwali tuuseeyo ddi waliwo mwe bazaala Kololo, you live in Kololo, you have never been to Nansana. But now this is also Nansana. This is also Nansana. Yeah. So now mbadde nkyabagamba how we have to save the environment. For us to save the environment, do everything in your power tosuula biveera tokola ki okitegeera. And of course then the other thing that you're going to do to make sure the environment is safe is making sure that your car has a catalytic converter that doesn't go out. Tokkiriza omuntu okubba catalytic converter mu motoka yo. The catalytic converter is one way the automakers are making sure they also contribute to the environment. Then the other way you're going to save the environment is by making sure oba tuli ku kituufu kekana akakubo kyemmanyi waliwo kabondi. So the other way you're going to make sure the environment is safe is by taking good fuels. Muve ku kyokwagala okusaving ennyo sente ate munywe amafuta amabi, munywe mafuta malungi. Okitegeera amafuta amalungi emmoloka egookya. Emmoloka bw'egookya, the fumes that come out of that fuel are also fewer. Okitegeera. So amafuta amalungi ganywe catalytic converter ebeereko tokasuka bicupa na biveera mu kkubo. And I find that this should be something. Naye osanga omuntu ng'ali ku ddaala lya executive mu banka n'anywa amazzi n'akasuka ekicupa kya lwenzooli ebweru. Osanga omuntu ng'avuga V8. And those are some of the things that you guys be tugenda okukola for the love of cars, to sensitize people on the things that look bad on them. Waliwo omuntu wali badde nga obaako kirasi gy'otuukamu ng'olina ebintu by'otakola. Okitegeera. Asa naye matu gasobola okufunayo 10 ku 10 ku million nga 35. I know a friend of mine who is selling his 10 ku 10 alina plot 2 ate za byapa. Yagambye ayagala million 25. Okitegeera alina ebimutwala simanyi oba tannazitunda because people are giving him 20 million ng'aziganye. Naye nga alina ebimutwala ate byamangu era bw'oba olina cash nze nga nkuyungayo ng'ogenda bakuwa ploti zo 2. Wait. What have happened? Kansokenda wa IST kuba IST waayita nange empitawo. IST waayita nange empitawo. But these people are trying to not go through the waters over. Katono wa IST alabika weeno ekkubo lyabwe alimanyi. I know why some of you guys like the IST. Okalaba ka IST ako kalina tubampa otulungi tuli tubampa twako tuli raised. It's bali abantu basikira mabega emoroka ezisikira amabega awo teyitawo wetuyise. Naye ate eri kigege ng'eyiseewo tebamanyi bumanya moroka. So guys, this is all Nansana. Neka Saturambu. I think the adventure is also something. Else. So now, abe moroka enkwatemu yingini. I find that if your car has ever been tampered, if anyone has ever touched your engine in your car nagisumulula, one of the things that they do that lead to fuel consumption is webakwata ne bajjako head eyo ne bagitwala to reface it. When they take your engine, your cylinder head for refacing, jukira bajjamu valve. When they put the valves out of the engine and they put them back, there is a timing mechanism they are supposed to do to make sure that valves ezo emmoroka egenda kunywa bulungi nti ziggula bwe zirina okuggula at the right time, aye ne ziggula the right amount of space. Okitegeera, ne ziggula the right amount of space. Bwe ziggulawo ennyo oba bwe ziggulawo so more often than they should, emmoroka ye egenda kunywa. Okitegeera. Me, I had that trouble with 2 cars. Ne bakebera simaya fuel pump, bakebedde nozzle. They checked a lot of things and in the end these things too were not the problem. So if anyone boba waguze moroka ezo enkadde ezo ipsamu kibina all those cars ngo ine motoka ezinkadde ziwaguze primo sure deals motoka yingi omuntu akuguza primo old model nakugamba nti yingi nitekwatwangamu kujjako nga bagitaddemu olabe tiwabaawo omuntu akuguza ipsam nakugamba yingi nitekwatwangamu tiwabaawo omuntu akuguza ipsam kosa burawumu obwo old model kisoboka bwe kaba kalungi kuba yingini ya rawumu eyo bwe bagikwata mutetereera ne kakosa nakyo kisoboka kuba yingini eyo bwe bagikwata mutetereera and of recent I've seen people that drive Subarus nga nabo bagamba Subaru tebazikwatamu okitegeera nti yingini ya Subaru bwekyanka nagula buguzi ndala. I've seen that, and of course even the VVTI cars era bwe basumula emotoka ya VVTI wali baddewo oli n'odabebula n'okakasa nti cylinder head yonga yo they have not tampered with it, because the moment they tamper with the cylinder head emotoka ye egenda tandika okukolako emikolo in terms of fuel consumption okitegeera, and I'm sure you don't want that. That's why normally I've been telling people if your car overheats buy another engine. Naye nga ate sometimes not necessary, but ebiseera ebisinga bamakanika bye bakolaawo mugezaako okufixinga fuel consumption ebintu bye bakola bamaliriza bonoonye emmoloka yo ate netandika okunywa amafuta ate nekumalako emirembe okitegeera. Yanasana is very large. Gatako nema ebintu bya nema ebyo byo biri a little bit complicated. I find that NEMA doesn't have to actually break people's houses. NEMA could literally just tell people ozimbe, because if NEMA tells you that we give licenses to people to build in wetlands, why can't you come to these people abali bazimba wedda and you simply tell them, you know what guys, I find that we find that the way you built is dangerous for the environment, menya ozimbe woti oba tosobola kuzimba woti tunda. You know they tell people abali before batasobola bagamba kweno ploti like Antonio aina we yangambye itaka liwe liri n'agamba nti bamugamba oba tosobola zimbawo kalina tozimba aba municipality okitegeera. And I find that that's what NEMA should be doing. NEMA should be telling people that, you know what, if you cannot build in this way, you sell to someone that can, and you need to get a NEMA license, and they also need to get people to supervise. I find that some of these things abantu tebalowooza bulowooza oba batulayo mu office ne bagaa tukole bwe tuti, but I find that if they give licenses to people like the Starbucks people okuzimba mu wetland, ne bawa like Mandela Millers ne bamukiza okuzimba mu wetland, why can't they just tell people come and bring a new plan to approving the plan ogende ozimbe in the right way NEMA jeje kukiza ozimba mu kisenyi? Because the fact that they allow some people, it means people can build in wetlands as long as they build safely. Negwe nosanga omuntu ne bamenya ennyumba y'omuntu enene million 3 ne bagimenya. So nga ate they could have found a ways to mitigate. Oba bali mugambye around the house kale menya ebyetolodde ennyumba ogireke ozimbe yo bwoti. But of course now fete tuli yeyo tetwasoma environmental science, they will come and rationalize why Starbucks is there and other people can't be there. Bajja kujja bakubulire good morning Ingrid Joshua. 1 hour yawezeddayo mugenda kuwoomerwa akantu naye ngenda basibula nga Malako Express. We Malako Express ntuke munyonyo ngenda basibula ate tubenga tukwatagana ku question Friday naye ka Express ko mugenda kawoomerwa. So fuel consumption busensa bagenda kugamba literally every time your car brings most of the times that I've seen people with their cars bringing engine checks, ojagenda okwesanga engine check yebika oxygen sensor, but sometimes it's not really the oxygen sensor. Mwabavuga emoroka epya gwe emoroka yo kaseeta engine check nga wajazisa omuntu obanga you took it to a washing bay and left it there and it brings an engine check light, just know the catalytic converter is kaput. Catalytic converter is kaput, and you guys take it for granted. Memulowooza nti people are good. Oyo mwana njoleze emoroka emyaka 2 tasobola kubba mu kasaanyi kale. Omwana bagenda muwe emitwalo 2 olumu n'okwoza olumu tomusasula. For the guys that live in apartments, I find that you should get your scars to wash your cars. Okitegeera you should get your scars to wash. Me, I wash my cars. The Moroka yang taking a come washing bay. Even like the past 4 cars, tezagenda come washing bay from the time I bought them to the time that people bought them from me. Eno tegenda come washing bay. Era obuyonjo bwayo bwobutunulako omanya nti ne Moroka yozebwa muntu agifaako. Teyozebwa muntu gwe basasudde. Okitegeera. I wash my car maximum every 2 days. But ideally I wash my car every day. Nina olupiira ate sijoza nga abantu ba bulijjo. Nze Moroka yange njikuba olupiira every day. Sijoza nga sijikubye olupiira to take the residue off. Okitegeera. So, but catalytic converters ezo okwewala okuzibba emmoroka eyo tojo ate kati abantu bangi nga ne Moroka yagijje mu bond yesterday nga leero catalytic converter teriimu because abaana bali very fast. Okitegeera. Joshua, why didn't I say in English, Joshua? I find that I do a mixture, yeah? I do a mixture, but you know, it creeps in, eh? It creeps in. Sorry, I'm going to try to do 90% English. So I was saying that make sure your catalytic converters are not stolen. Catalytic converters can be stolen in like 10 minutes. Boys are fast. They cut, steal it. I was told there are even speed guns here as you're entering the toll. Let me go to 70 kilometers per hour. I was doing 80. Let me go to 70 kilometers per hour. Guys, you're 68. Double tap so that we get likes here. How do they clean the engine safely? Munange, Lawrence, me, I spray gun my own engine. Me. The engine yang enjoy. I wash it myself. You just need to know where you should not put water. And of course they need to take out the thingy. What do they call it? They need to take out the air cleaner first. And then after they have spray gunned your car, and after they have spray gunned your car, then they need to clean the air cleaner compartment. After they have cleaned the air cleaner compartment, then then what the next thing they need to do after they have spray gunned your engine, because if your car is clean, they don't even need to scrub it. They should spray gun it at a very low pressure. Bakwese pressure entono dala. Bakwese pressure entono dala. Then they spray gun it afterwards. Ngabajja air cleaner, then mu air cleaner compartment mugenda kuba mulimu amazzi bagakazemu with a piece of cloth. Which take it. I was told the alternator can get spoiled. No, the alternator doesn't get spoiled with water. Buran don't pay. No, I have a card. I don't pay cash here. I pay monthly. So I just have a card that takes me through here. The alternator doesn't really get spoiled by water. The alternator mostly gets spoiled by oils. The alternator gets spoiled by oils. There is no evidence to say that the alternator gets spoiled by water. I have to read more about it. Because when you're cleaning, you still need your alternator to be clean, right? You still need your alternator to be clean. And yeah. But mwana wa forward ngajiduka. Ali mujigezesa. Oba jigesa nga butwagezesa kigege wano. Still the lady has not smiled, but I think it's because I was talking to you guys. Most of those guys don't smile, by the way. Most of those guys don't smile, but it's okay. I'm used to customer service. Most of those guys don't care. So guys, and when your car brings engine check, sometimes it's not bringing the engine check light simply because there's something faulty. Sometimes it's a socket that has been unplugged. Like the air flow meter socket can be unplugged. You just have to plug it back. So emoroka yonga tonajitwala wa makanika bwereta any warning light, first go in the hood or nonye what is there anything that has been unplugged. is there any wire that has broken? Because if there is no wire that has broken, if there is no socket that is unplugged, then whatever is happening with your car might be something that is solvable with just replacement of a sensor. Okitegeera kati emmotoka gyenvuga sigisuubira kubaako kyamaanyi kyefa, era nze kati bwemba ndi wakanika mmotoka yange nkyusa buushi, kunyiga mu bukono, bolo joint, ebyo byenkolako, it doesn't die with anything. There is nothing that dies in this car because ekyali namukebere Corolla. Olaba Corolla yange namukadde that it's old. Oli omwana ebintu byakola atereza clutch cylinder, brake cylinder, kukola mu bukono, talina kyakanika, it doesn't die. Okitegeera era I find that era ebiseera ebimu for us when we go for inspection tusobola okutunira emmotoka netugiraba nti yetaaga okukwatamu wansi, but for us that's not the biggest concern. The biggest concern is, will the car take a lot of your money out of with maintenance that nga bakanika ebintu ebitategeerekeka? President Museveni wuli mulabye nga jjoba Museveni oba nabbanja, whoever that is, naye kati bali kale akasozi eri side. I don't know if you guys can even see them because ate emmotoka zisse. So this is 95, 96, you see Museveni, you are like some sort of minister. 98, 99, 100. Kati autugenze mu standard 10. But you see, when your car is okay, ekikumi tekirina kyekikolako. 100. Kati wakikeka akola ki muleni y'abadduka? Alina kuba muleni y'abagenda empola. Naye mukimanyi abasajja bakikeka abasinga tebamanyi mmoloka. Because ku nguudo kuliko n'akapande, keep left unless when overtaking. Okitegeera tulina mu 9, 2, 9, 3, 9, 5, 9, 8, 100. Yes, that's the express for you guys. Endo za lero munyumidwa ka broadcast. Naye ngenda basubira kastantuke munyonyo bwenti ngamba jjako. Mujja kunzikira sigenda kusoma mannya naye nga mwebale nnyo mbalabye mwenna ate muli bayitirivu. Bashiri Triple M ng'obula nnyo muganda wange. Kasule Musa, where do we get spare parts at subsidized price? One thing I realized about this, about you buying spares for yourself, guys, unless you have an arrangement with your mechanic, gamukwatagana gakukiza okwegulira spare. Ebiseera ebimu when you buy your own spares, your mechanic is intentionally going to break that spare to make sure it doesn't work. Your mechanic is going to make sure that spare does not work for you. So I would find that it's easier for you to bargain with your mechanic because every mechanic takes money from your spare. If your mechanic tells you a spare part costs 30,000, just know it's 20. I'm telling you this. Now, for him, he knows where he can buy it subsidized. As a matter of fact, when you go to the shop, you yourself, they'll sell it to you 30. You get? Because when your mechanic calls that place, ngagenda sirika yo wa boda, amgambo wa boda ja, muwe gundi, muwe chino na chino na chino na chino. So your mechanic receives 30 from you, he sends 20 to the shop. You get? So if I were you, I would not try to eliminate the mechanic out of the process because you buy your spare parts and then the mechanic will still spoil the spare parts just to make sure that you learn a lesson that it is him who is supposed to buy the spare parts for you. Okitegera kati ekkubo litugenda kulya 80 kilometers per hour. Vida kuona wogenda eri bwe weyongerayo wa drone jagenze, then you're going to Entebbe. But bodda wano obodda Kajansi, Munyonyo and all that. Ohoji or Soji, if your catalytic converter gets stolen, you see, we as Ugandans have not yet been educated about things to do with the environment, especially how our cars affect the environment. and the carbon print that we put on the environment. Yeah, and those are some of the things that For the Love of Cars will be doing in terms of educating the public. Yeah, but kwechobo manya echoku replacing a catalytic converter tochikolera gwe achikolere baana bo. Do it for your children and your grandchildren, that this environment, you want them to be here, you want them to be healthy, you don't want them to struggle. At least contribute that way. Replace the catalytic converter. There are ways that those mechanics can eliminate the catalytic converter from your ECU to ECU tejetaga. And in a way, for us as Ugandans, we will find that, you know what, since I will not put a catalytic converter, the car still moves. But for your kids and grandkids, I find that truly cautious. We were raised by parents that don't care about us. They don't. The only thing they care about is that you are alive and have food. Your parents don't care about the quality of life you're living. It's very few parents that care about the quality of life. That's why you find parents saying, "Anza bana bange, nabo babone bone byabo ngana bange nabo nabona." I'm saying this because I've been with parents that think like that. It's not a good way of thinking. It's not a good way of thinking. But parents think like that. But be one of the parents that cares about the quality of life that your grandchildren will have. Abazungu boba tuyitako boba atandika okulowoza abaana bange ensi gyendekawo banaagibeeramu bulungi. So bwe bakubako catalytic converter, replace it. Replace it. And if you can avoid having your catalytic converter stolen, please avoid kataboyo wa boda bwavuga pitch. Okugulu okumwa kutadde eri wansi. Kati pitch bwe mkuba n'omulinnya nga bagamba otomedde owa boda. Naye nga ate abadde avugisa malala. Why exaggerate the price and yet I'm going to pay for labor? Joel, they will exaggerate even those expensive garages where you think they don't exaggerate because they charge you expensively. Even them, they exaggerate. That's why their spares are more expensive than even these guys that don't charge you expensive labor fees. That's how Uganda is spoiled. Uganda is spoiled. You'll find a minister that gets over 20 million shillings a month. I find that one of the ways we can change our country is by changing the top. You have seen the president saying that the corrupt people have no problem as long as they invest in Uganda. Kachitegezo the president wa ye wagira denguzi tabali benguzi talina kyagenda bakola kasa asanga nga they are investing in Uganda. But I find that one way you guys can do is one of you go stand, become president of Uganda. Osegera gwe wenyini eliminating corruption starting with your ministers. Osegera ba minister bono bajja mu corruption, parliament ogenda ogizigule, ogende mu judiciary ogizigule, ojagenda okwesanga ne police tekyali anguzi, n'abamagye tebakyali anguzi, ogenda okwesanga it trickles down nga ne bamakanika tebakyali anguzi. Osegera because a mechanic wa inflating a price if a mechanic inflates the price of a mechanic inflates the price of a spare part, that's corruption. That's a form of corruption. But you take it, and it's not proper. If your kid, you guys have seen this meme where they say the teacher sends a child for 10,000 shillings for a tour. When the child gets to the mother, the child asks for 15,000. When the mother goes to the father, she asks for 25,000. So corruption has trickled down to even our kids. So your kids are being corrupt. Your wife is also corrupt. But it trickles down. So we need to start from the head. President Antonio Ndozechechindo anachichusa najja nga bwakwata minister nga ali corrupt atwalako ku mayumba ge yazimbedda n'agaddiza government okitegeera. But right now, when we still have a government that celebrates corruption, tetulina kyakikolera ekyo bamakanika bagenda kusigala nga batubba okitegeera. So guys, I'm going to try and read the comments. I'm going to stop somewhere and read all your comments before I say bye-bye to you, so that then I can go and take care of some business. System ejja kulya omuntu. So anyway, for my kids, I will look into catalytic converter replacement. Exactly. But you guys, I find that one way for us to make sure that our world is, to make sure that we make the right decisions. I find that never minister na abali enguzie ne abasajja ba police ababonyabonya abantu, they don't care about their kids. Yesterday someone sent me a message in TikTok inbox. Nangamba Arthur, there is a time nasanga kirole kyali kiyingire kubo. Bwe kiba kiyingire kubo, what I did nenkisala mba nsala kirole nti wa traffic nanyimiriza nangamba nvuga bubi nankuba ekipapula. So let me just let me put it in English. A guy inboxed me on TikTok and he said, Arthur, traffic police officers have bad manners. There is a time a lorry was entering the road. So I was moving out of the way of the lorry. The traffic officer stopped me and he gave me a police receipt that I was doing reckless driving. Then another time I was poor driving by a ministry vehicle. He doesn't even wait for the traffic lights to turn green. So then he says there is another time he was dodging potholes. Still, the same traffic officer in the same area stopped him and gave him a police receipt, reckless driving. So then he says, yesterday, a police officer stopped him. That very officer, he had forgotten that he has treated him badly. He stopped him and asked for tea. And he gave the guy 2,000 and he thanked him. Then he was saying, Arthur, these traffic officers, sometimes they forget they are human. Like I'm dodging a pothole that I did not put there. So you want me to go to the pothole and hit it? I'm dodging a lorry that is clearly driving into the road so that I go around it. And you give me a police receipt. Like, are you not human? Like, if I found your kid somewhere, I told you some time ago, if I found him, because yampisa bubi nnyo. Nemusanga nganze mwetondo lya amazzi erimuwonya mulekawo. That's how bad I feel about him. I've never forgiven him. I will not forgive him. Okitegeera era ne bwe musanga bwanyimiriza sinza na mubuza ne bwambuza simuddamu. That's how badly I feel about how he treated me. Okitegeera, and I find that we have been raised in a religious way that makes us think that if someone treats you badly, you treat them well. If someone treats you, slaps you one cheek, give him another cheek. No. So I find that society, for you to be good to other people, you need to think about your children and your grandchildren. Because I have not had children. Me, I have 2 children, 2 boys, and those boys surely they are going to give me grandchildren. One of the reasons why I exercise every day is because I want to see my grandchildren. One reason why I'm trying to create a legacy for myself is I want my kids to walk into an office and they say, I am called Chisenyi. And someone says, oh, Arthur Chisenyi. And then they get helped simply because their father did something good for the world. You get, they go to the community in Bungereza there and someone says, Arthur Chisenyi, yes, oh, Bambi, that man. You get, so everything that you guys do today, I find that let's start thinking about where we are going to leave our children and grandchildren. I find that literally every decision I make right now, it's influenced by the fact that I have children. And those children are going to, they have to give me grandchildren. Sagara kwesi was. Two should be like the minimum of children that people have. Why? Because I bored. Me, I've grown up as a lone child, so I know the dangers of someone being alone. At least 2 children, like my kids are 2 and they are literally inseparable. Like when I go to pick them from school, one goes in a different section, another goes to a different section, and when I go to pick them, the moment the other sees his brother, he says, Alban, I got you a snack, or Alban, I got you a snack. You get, they are that close. And that's why you should have 2 kids minimum. Mr. Arthur, can I do vehicle transfer on my own? The fee is 84, yet the dealers ask for 250. Yes, you can. Ask them for transfer forms and a copy of the national ID of the person that is transferring the car to you. They should sign on that that ID copy, and they should also put their phone number. Then you also attach your ID and sign on it and also put a phone number. You can do that. Now, guys, I want us to understand why people charge us for things. People charge just to make things easy for us, to make life easier for us so that we don't move. The thing that happens with the agents, why they ask for that money, give them 200,000, is because you're never bigana yabimaliriza. What way bigana yabimaliriza? For example, someone paid for transfer. There is a car we bought some time ago, and the lady paid transfer. The lady paid for transfer 200,000. Now, ono omuntu gwe bawasendeza transfer, nachizula nti the person that was transferring the car to the lady's names, they forgot their password for the tin. Now, the password for the tin is okay, but the email address they put on their tin is locked away in an iPhone, in iCloud. He lost the iPhone, so he can't afford to buy an iPhone now. Aina mapesa. Which take right? So they have to reset the tin and put a new email address. So this person has already invested about 150,000 that you, the person the car is being transferred to, you don't know. Njagala basi bulira one. Kati wantu tuse munyonyo bachali bange abatamanyi. And this is a parking area. So guys, njagala basi bulira wano. Let me just go through the comments. The song used to go, corruption is society. May God have mercy upon us. Yes, Oshogi, we should pray. System ejakuli omuntu, the shadow valve on my back left tire is hard to engage. I need a pressure gauge with martial law. I have no idea what to say. Just change the valve. Arthur obudi wa broadcasting mba nvuga mukulu era twaka parking ase amina kati ogira boti omala ku parking n'olyoga ogenda nkitegedde. And they're honest mechanics really. They are there, but even the honest mechanics have also been corrupted. They have been corrupted. Kandabeka ata 20 million eche kibuzo kya Bashiri tutandike encha ebibuzo mu bimpe encha Bashiri ngenda kuddamu encha kubanchi manyi oyinza obutabaako 20 million. No, you cannot get Bashir kanchididemu na one echo. Guys, you cannot get the new Noah at 20 million with the latest number plates. Actually newe wera UBN oba UBM ogenda kujifuna ku million nga 25. Okitegeera. Good fuel nzenga athanywa Shell na Total. Now nzenywa Total because I have a B2C card that gives me a discount as well. Okitegeera. I see you have changed your perspective on the catalytic converter. Should I replace a stolen one? Is it really a big deal? I think personally, Joko Mokubet exposed. I think you start understanding the advantages of things, and I think I'm getting more exposure in life, and I'm learning the importance of the environment to us. But now Uganda, they live for today. Most Ugandans live for today, and that's why you find that we don't care about the things you should be caring about. Let me see. Arthur, they have not smiled. No, the monthly toll is 90k. It gives you 60 trips, so you still be saving. Kubaba ufuna 60 trips ku mitwalo mwendo bo savings enyo. Guys, kamba sibulenga bwe nonya comments si same. Muyombya Mark, Seguya Ibrahim Lindwa Gonzaga to see me. Guys, I do pre-purchase inspection mulete minimum in a week yonayona tewali yanku with the coconut pre-purchase inspection. And by the way guys, the 450,000 covers only 2 people. Ojja n'omuntu omu. I realize that sometimes when I tell people that bachitwala bubi. Ene moroka yango ojira batubamu ne makanika. So I can only take only 2 extra people because sometimes tuba tunonye moroka ntufuna broker nga ino tutwale wali moroka na dada zibira bikomera by'abantu. So that's why I reserve that extra seat ereo nti bwe tufuna broker na tutambuza. Bwe tufuna broker na tutambuza abenga ina watula. So only 2 people betutwala mu pre-purchase inspection banyinawo makanika and all that. So sometimes when I tell people that, they get offended. Then another thing that I found offends people is that when I tell people I don't bargain my fee, and then I give them an option of just going to buy their car on their own, then they get offended. Guys, don't get offended. I've told you nze bango bako mu high school mbunjogera bubi, but I am a direct person. Nkugamba ekintu direct because I don't want to beat about the bush. So every time you try to bargain my pre-purchase inspection fee, I'll give you the option of going to buy your car on your own, because me, I feel the moment you bargain my fee, you feel the service I'm offering you is not worth that money. So don't get offended. If you ever try to bargain my fee, that's the thing I'm going to tell you. Nchogera ku broadcast so that when I tell it to you, it's not new. So my fee is 450,000 shillings. It covers only 1 day of inspection in the Kampala Central Business District for a car that serves one purpose. Togenda kusasula mitwala na mwetana atembo tukabere chigige tumaye tukabere forward. Every purpose a fee. Sengo Janet nonye moroka ntajifuna kuolu. There too you pay extra money. You pay extra money. I'm saying it on the broadcast so that when I tell it to you, Tonyiga, because I will tell it to you and I'll be plain. I'm not going. I find that we as Ugandans, we are used to being polite. Tuli used kubantu abatugamba nedda anti kakati olaba esente ezo munange anti zikola bino na bino anti anko kati obiraba anti kakati munange mukwano. We are used to those things. I find that that wastes a lot of time. Dear, no dear. Now for me to type no dear in WhatsApp, it's a lot of time. So I'll just tell you no, I don't bargain my fee. I don't have to add no dear. I don't have to explain why I don't bargain my fee, because I've done inspection since 2022 and I know that money is even little. There are times we have been with the mechanic in the field and we are looking for cars naga and yomanyi atha senza inspection is ogenda kunyongera ku sente. So guys, don't be offended when I send you a message that is straight. We as Ugandans, we are not used to straight answers, but me, I'm going to be straight with you, because I explain all these things on the broadcast. Danston Oka or Akonya. Questions are for tomorrow, guys. John's info. The 2.4 liter vehicle, if it's VVTI, it's going to give you 8 kilometers or 9 maximum. If it gives you better, well and good. On highways, they definitely do good, but just not going to get 8. If it's VVTI, if it's not VVTI, 2.4 will definitely give you 5. That's why you find people that drive the Regias. Regias ebira ya 2.7. Someone told me again in Barara nenyo emitwala 5 Regias. Uchitegera. Maxwell Kahuma, Chigoze Stanley, Yusuf Minaj, Patrick Rio, Potre Farm, Pade, Sami, Dero, Lubura Chris Fitness, Travel Like Vlog, Majora Julius, Luicho Taite, Hussein, Molindwa Gonzaga, Sami, Omni Wandiambi, Mikel UG, Nsereko Starch, Football Tribe UG, Kariegire Amos Luke, Henry Modern brings 360 videos, Kaitesi Morin, Chris Fitness Rubura Nakubozi Zako, Mukisa Robert, he lives in Maybe the Crown, Antonio Random Things, President FTC People's Party, Chamba de Hannington, Nema Mujakuba Murianga, HBina registered anonymously. Ngabanga bategwe athagwa bawe simba ungemunza ngandi ku poster. Hey! Ngavuga V8 nze bande tanga katumba oye sitambida mora umu. Nze bande tanga katumba oye. Ninafuna V8 atenge ni manyagange bampeneze escort ngazi zo nganazo ziri manyagange sagala za polisi njagala escort ngazange ngaziri manyagange ngabo tuva mu campaign nga CSM escort zange ziparking waka nziteka at least mu 2 travel era we munala senga mulabanga bande senga katumba oye ngamumanya nalide Ronald Mucho VIP Musema Saddam Godeti Nachintu Oza Mosantu Jose M Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Musarwa Derek, George Senkubu Getodi, Ronald, Maxwell Kahuma Nakumaze, Mikel Yuji Nakumaze, DNN, Hazi Hall, Mikel Yuji, Charles Sevaduka, Peter Mangeni, Kula 145. I did AC on the highway. I got 1.14 kilometers total fuel chotera to Kampala. Okay. Morokachi 1NZ. 1NZ. But last week did it minus AC, average 17. Kati emoroke ojichuse plug rwansonga. Me, I do SC in a 1.5 and I can get 17. Nankoze SC. Today is another breeder. Choose a plug obola koiruzo bazo zikola bulungi. Hezi holaga for Sienta, I hear we should use 5W30 oil to increase consumption. No, the oil does. Guys, by the way, me, I tested it. The oil doesn't affect fuel consumption at all. It doesn't. Isoba Ivan, Fortune 360 H's. Douglas looks like a mutant. Aha. Harrison Muhindo, Ben Kako, Lucky Mose, Mula Meek, Nicholas Seulime, Henry Modern Drinks, Oshoji, Kazoba BL, Ole Con Pop, Billy Crown, David Jack Tumsibe, Kasule Musa, Munoza Sibamaze, Henry Ndaula, Sebugwa Omedi, Omeja Moses, Billy Crown, Benjamin, Valve Eri 0.025 timing gauge. Ingini ya Joshua 24 bana ya Joshua ondese bibyamu byaba ingini ya ingini ya Joshua 246 Isaac Orute O Tiger Face munoza sibamaze Triple M Henry Ndaula Joel Night All Recording Studios Land Stuff with Ambro 256 Munoza sibamazeyo Kasule Musa Mark WJB Kafuma mbamazeyo. A 2.4 liter diesel will give you 565 kilometers for a full tank on a highway. Most cars, actually even most cars that are one, at least zemvuze Kenya of the 1.5 nasobora kuwa 500 more than 500 kilometers on a highway ngovuze SC. David Sembatya Kwoli, good morning, guys. Nabali Mukamole, I don't take it for granted. Pre-purchase inspection. Yes, sometimes I'm a little direct, which sounds rude for a normal Ugandan, because normal Ugandans are not used to straightforward answers. We get offended very fast, and I don't want you to get offended, especially when we are communicating on WhatsApp. Don't get offended at all. Inspection, don't get offended, because then I'm doing my job. I'm not there to massage your ego. I'm there to make sure that you make the right decision. And we start from even the advisory one. What's a consultation? I'm very, very direct. I'm not out to simply make money. Inspection. When we chat on WhatsApp, nenda banga siku sobering agambo mancho wali koze funa yo muntu mulala ku inspecting. I get people that want to do inspection for them, but some of them tetukwa atagana. Twina utakwataga ndio rumwa yagara gule moro kemiyo na abira ajigule 12 okitegera and things like that. Guys, I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Question Friday bibuzo benganyo okudambira kambide muncha mukama abawo mukisa. Ciao.